Our first guest here to discuss the Republican leadership's focus on amnesty and immigration legislation that once again appears to be dead on arrival. Joining us tonight, Congressman Andy Biggs, Republican of Arizona, a member of the House Judiciary Committee, the Freedom Caucus, and great to have you with us, Congressman. I can't believe this. You all are still thinking about a bill that no one has read nor contributed to in any way, moving to the floor for a vote by the middle of the week.
Well, Lou, not only can you not believe it, but I'd like to say I can't believe it, but I think this has come to be expected by me, and I'm disheartened by it, but I think you're right. And it kind of goes contrary to exactly what President Trump has been saying about what I'm calling a virtual fence, where he says we're going to turn everybody away. This is a bill that's going to have the beginnings of general amnesty. Let's be honest about it. I mean, you're going to have the first wave is the DACA amnesty, the second wave is the second DACA amnesty, the third wave is their parents, and by then it'll be basically anybody else who's here. It's going to be a general amnesty, which is right out of the Democrats' playbook. It doesn't make sense, not good for the country, and certainly not good for those running as Republicans in this midterm election.
So how is it that Paul Ryan, a lame duck speaker, still in the office that he's resigned, who is going to lead you all, and I think that we've talked before with complete agreement, it's going to be disastrous for your conference across the country. I estimate as many as 50 seats lost in the House if they proceed against the will of the base, the very voters who put this president in office. And I don't hear this president saying to Paul Ryan, don't even think about it. Put it aside.
Well, what I heard last week was the president saying, you're wasting time, because nothing's going to get through the Senate anyway, and I agree with that. I don't understand why we're in the House, we're constantly put on the spot, so to speak, to say, okay, let's either vote for this or not vote for this, regardless of what the Senate's going to do. We know the Senate's not going to take it up, and that's number one. But the more important thing is it's not in keeping what we promised the voters when they voted for us. So when you had crossover independents, crossover Democrats from the Rust Belt who said, I'm going to vote for this president, and the Republicans, because they said they're going to no amnesty, they're going to have a tough immigration policy, which means the worker's going to get protected. It's a problem.
Wouldn't you believe that this president, of all people, would say, Paul Ryan, you're a lame duck, you are an absolute failure as Speaker. If you're going to put anything forward, you put forward my agenda, build the wall, let's have full funding for it. There's not a negotiation. This is the President of the United States speaking to the Speaker of the lame duck Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, and don't even think about crowding me on the issue of amnesty, because you know that is an absolute killer for the Republican conference in November.
Yeah, I think he's sent signals. I don't know what happens when they talk privately, but I can tell you this, that we need to do a simple bill, and that bill needs to be funding for the wall. That's what we promised we would do. Yeah. And if you think nothing's going to happen in the Senate, then let the Senate take the blame for not funding the wall. Let's fund the wall in the House. Let's get it over there as quickly as we can. And let's keep our promises for a change. I think that would be really, really solid.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. But you know what? I've heard some members of your conference, and I should say a few members of your conference, saying, well, we should just do a narrow DACA bill. I mean, I've actually heard these kinds of moronic musings from a few people in your conference who obviously still don't get it, that their futures, the rhinos' futures, are hanging by a very weak thread.
Yeah, you know, there's a part of our conference that really is very sympathetic to an open borders and an amnesty program. But I don't think that's the vast majority of our conference.
No, I don't either.
I think we could get the votes to build the wall, fund and build the wall. And that's, before you do anything else, let's just be honest, you have to get your border secured. Otherwise, everything else is just emotionally driven. So let's build the wall, let's provide for border security, let's get our boots on the ground, and let's get that done sooner rather than later. And
I'm going to repeat this. I've been saying it for almost 2 decades. There is an absolute, logical, straightforward formula. You cannot reform immigration law if you cannot control your borders. We are a long ways from being able to control the borders, and if any Republican president ever again accepts amnesty as a condition for a deal with the Democrats before border security and before securing that border, building that wall, as it's more than a metaphor. I mean, it's the reality that we've got to face. And you've got Manuel Lopez Obrador, the leading presidential candidate in Mexico, ready to go to the polls on July 7th, saying he wants to send more of his poor, more of his uneducated, more of his unskilled labor to this country, calling for a wave across that border. We have got fools in this country still in important positions within even this government of Donald J. Trump, who don't understand they're in a war here. It's a war against the left. It's a war against those who would run over our borders as if they were not even lines in the sand. And they want to debate. They want to confer. The reality is we're in a war, and we either win it or we lose this country's destiny.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the deal. I think that's why the president said, let's just send them back. We're going to turn them back at the border. None of this phony bill only due process where we basically catch and release and say, show up some other time. Congress isn't funding the wall yet, so it's a virtual wall. He's saying just turn them back. That's what we have to do. And that's the first step, but we still need that physical barrier.
Listen to the reaction. Watch the reaction from the left, though, the Dems. They're having a fit because of the separation of families at the border involving some 2,000 people. It is an absolute microcosm of the experience under President Obama and former DHS Secretary Jay Johnson. To his credit, he may be the most honest man, the only honest man in the entire Obama administration, stepping forward and saying, we felt we had to do it, we did it, and I give him so much credit in the midst of this, acknowledging what the Obama administration did. But these Democratic activists, having none of it, they are simply seeking political advantage rather than dealing with reality and the truth, and dishonoring even the word truth by their very existence.
Yeah, Lou, you're talking about right now 50,000 plus people coming across our border that we're apprehending on a monthly basis. And, you know, the estimate's 2 to 3 times that actually get passed. But more than that, you get the unaccompanied minors and the so-called familial relationship people. That's coming through. We're going to see over 30,000 of those in the next 7 weeks hit our borders. Right. And what's supposed to happen at that point? And it's
we know what the Dems, because the president's right. He says the Dems want open borders. The Dems want them to pour across that border because they look at them as, and correctly so, as potential voters, soon to be imminent voters. And the Republicans look at it as a violation of our sovereignty and our laws.